Tovia Singer made this point. I quote again
Dan
from
pembicaranya
Tovia Singer.
Tovia Singer
To show
menyatakan
you
ini
how bogus
untuk menyatakan betapa bohongnya
those charges are. The charges against
the charges
against Matthew.
Tuduhan terhadap Matius.
And he said Matthew misquoted
Dan dia bilang
the
Matius
Torah
salah mengutip Torah
and inserted verses that do not exist.
dan memasukkan ayat-ayat yang tidak ada.
So two things. Matthew is guilty of two things according to Tovia Singer.
Jadi ada dua kesalahan Matius menurut Tovia Singer.
He took things out of context
Dia mengambil sesuatu keluar dari konteks
and then he added things that don't exist in the Hebrew Bible.
dan dia menambahkan sesuatu yang sebetulnya tidak ada.
This is a serious allegation, don't
Ini
you agree?
tuduhan serius.
Well, let's look together.
Kita akan lihat
Yes.
sama-sama.
Because if it is true,
Karena jika itu benar,
then Matthew is in serious trouble.
ya Matius itu bermasalah serius.
Okay? So let's look at the very first verse, the first charge. Don't have to go far. Matthew chapter 2.
Matius pasal 2, kita lihat.
In chapter 2, according to Tovia Singer,
Dalam pasal 2 menurut Tovia Singer,
Matthew's butchered Exodus and Hosea. Let us look together.
Matius
Let's look together. Matthew
kita lihat
2:15.
sama-sama Matius 2 ayat 15.
In Matthew 2:15, it says, where he stayed
Di mana dia berdiam
until the death of Herod,
sampai kematian Herodes,
and so was fulfilled what the Lord has said through the prophets.
maka terpenuhilah apa yang dikatakan Tuhan melalui para nabi.
Out of Egypt,
Dari Mesir,
I called out my son.
aku memanggil anakku.
Well, Matthew is quoting actually here
Jadi-
from the Torah.
Jadi sebetulnya Matius mengutip dari Torah.
And let's see what the Torah says.
Dan apa yang dikatakan Torah?
This is very important. I need you to be alert.
Ini sangat penting, jadi
This is
perhatikan.
very important. You need to know this.
Anda perlu tahu ini.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh,
Dan kamu harus mengatakan kepada Firaun,
thus says the Lord,
demikianlah firman
Israel
Tuhan.
is my son.
Israel adalah anakku,
Who is my firstborn? Israel.
anak.
Hosea 11:1. When Israel was a child,
Hosea 11 ayat 1, ketika Israel masih anak-anak,
then I loved him.
saat itu aku
And
mengasihi dia.
out of Egypt I call up who?
Dan dari Mesir aku memanggil anakku.
How dare Matthew
Bagaimana mungkin Matthew
taking the
Matthews
words of the Hebrew Holy Bible
mengambil kata-kata dari kitab suci Ibrani
and lie about them?
lalu bohong tentang itu.
That is the point that Tovia Singer made.
Itu yang dikatakan oleh Tovia
As he would
Singer.
suggest that Matthew had a plot
Dan dia menuduh bahwa Matius
to
punya
lie,
rencana
had a
untuk
plot to change the Hebrew Holy Tanakh.
mengubah kitab suci tanah.
Friends, first of all, let me tell you that is not true. That is a lie.
Saya katakan pada Anda itu
And
tidak benar,
Matthew had
itu
no
bohong.
desire to change a jot or a tittle from Torah.
Dan
Let me start there. Before I answer for this,
sebelum saya jawab ini,
since we're on the roll, let's see another one.
kita lihat yang satu lagi.
Because it's the same chapter, just 8 verses later.
Dan di pasal yang sama, 8 ayat berikutnya,
That's a shocking one. It says there, Matthew 2:23, and he came
Matius 2:23, dan dia datang
and dwelt in a city
dan tinggal di kota
called Nazareth,
di Nazaret,
that it might be fulfilled,
sehingga terpenuhilah
which is spoken by the prophets.
yang diucapkan oleh para nabi.
He shall be called a Nazarene.
Dia akan disebut orang Nazaret.
Tovia Singer says, well, Matthew lied to us now the second time. He's a pathological liar.
Tovia Singer bilang Matius bohong lagi nih.
Because this word, he shall be called a Nazarene,
Karena kata dia akan disebut orang Nazaret,
do not exist in the Hebrew Bible.
tidak ada di dalam Alkitab Ibrani.
And yes, absolutely, they don't exist in the Hebrew Bible.
Dan ia memang benar tidak ada di dalam kitab Ibrani.
Yet, I am going to tell you that Matthew did not commit the mistake.
Tetapi saya akan bilang pada saudara bahwa Matius tidak salah.
As I'm about to prove to you.
Dan saya akan buktikan.
Are you with me? This is very important. This is very foundational and very serious to your faith.
Ini sangat mendasar dan serius untuk iman.
So our choices is either to believe to Tovia Singer
Jadi pilihan kita adalah percaya pada Tovia Singer
or to believe to Matthew.
atau percaya pada Matius.
Well, but you cannot say that.
Tapi
You
Anda
see, if you say believe Matthew,
kalau Anda bilang percaya
you have to
Matius,
support your position.
Anda harus mendukung posisi saudara.
You can't just, Matthew.
Nggak bisa asal bilang, sebut.
Let's see
Mari kita lihat
what some of the great one of Israel
apa yang dikatakan yang agung
had
dari
to say
Israel.
to us. We are going to deal first with the first dilemma. Out of Egypt I call out my son.
Kita akan
Because you know the question that we're
masalah
going
yang
to deal
pertama.
with here in Isaiah 50, on Isaiah 53,
ini akan di
the question we're going to deal, are we dealing
ya,
on Isaiah
pertanyaan
53?
ini akan dibahas dalam pembahasan Yesaya
Is
53.
surfacing here in Matthew too as well. This same dilemma is surfacing in Matthew chapter 2.
Dilema ini juga tampak di dalam Matius 2.
I quote
Saya mengutip
from the Ramban.
dari Ramban.
Ramban considered one of the big three
Ramban itu adalah satu dari antara tiga besar
in the Golden Age in Spain, the Golden Age in
di
Spain.
masa keemasan di Spanyol.
And he wanted to point to us to go, if we want to understand it, he said, go to Genesis.
Dan dia mengatakan, menunjukkan bahwa kita
Completely appear as completely unrelated verse.
menunjuk ke kejadian, suatu ayat yang kelihatannya tidak ada hubungannya sama sekali.
To Genesis, make yourself a mental note. Genesis 12:6.
Kejadian 12 ayat 6.
And he says there, ויעבור אברהם בארץ עד מקום שכם עד אלון מורה והכנעני אז בארץ, which literally mean, and Abraham
Dan Abraham
will pass through the land
akan melalui tanah itu
to a place called Nablus, Shechem,
menuju Sikem,
all the way to a place called Alon More,
ke suatu tempat yang bernama Alon
and the
More.
Canaanite was in the land.
Dan di situ ada orang Kanaan.
Look at what the principle that is giving us to us by the Ramban.
Lihatlah prinsip yang diberikan oleh
Everything will
Ramban.
become very clear, very quick.
Semuanya akan menjadi jelas.
Here is what he says, and I quote.
Saya kutip Ramban.
Oh, actually, I had it in English. Okay. He says this, listen, this is absolutely amazing. It's important principle.
Ini prinsip yang sangat penting.
He says everything
Dia
that
berkata,
happened to the fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob,
semua hal yang terjadi kepada bapak-bapak Abraham, Ishak, dan Yakub
was a sign for their descendants.
adalah suatu tanda bagi keturunan mereka.
And therefore,
Dan oleh karena itu,
the Torah go on in length
Torah berpanjang lebar menjelaskan
describe their travel and actions.
menjelaskan perjalanan
There you
dan
go.
tindakan mereka.
There you go again. This is why the Torah is going into all the details,
Ya, jadi ini kenapa Torah menjelaskan secara detail.
which seem superfluous, superfluous. It seems insignificant.
Yang kelihatannya tidak ada hubungannya. Tidak penting.
Which all come to teach. It's
Yeah.
all come to teach us
Yang tujuannya adalah untuk mengajarkan kita
what is going to happen in the future.
apa yang akan terjadi di masa depan.
Everything is a prophetic picture.
Semuanya adalah gambaran profetik.
Abraham itself
Abraham sendiri
is a prophetic picture of what's going to happen to us.
adalah gambaran profetik apa yang
Abraham,
terjadi pada kita.
Isaac, and Jacob
Abraham, Ishak, dan Yakub
is a picture of Israel in the future.
adalah gambaran Israel di masa depan.
Are you with me? It is both. Let's continue for a moment with the Ramban.
Kita lanjutkan lagi dari Ramban.
This is absolutely amazing. And he says, therefore,
Oleh karena itu,
sorry, I will go with you. Hashem had Abraham
Hashem
And
membuat Abraham
take a hold of the land
menguasai tanah itu
and did symbolic, look at the language, and did symbolic action
dan melakukan tindakan simbolik
of what will happen to his offsprings, to his seed, what will happen to
untuk
his...
menunjukkan apa yang akan terjadi kepada keturunannya.
This is explained in Genesis Rabbah.
Ini dijelaskan dalam Genesis Rabbah.
Rabbi Pinchas says in the name of Rabbi Oshaya,
Rabbi Pinchas berkata di dalam nama Rabbi Oshaya.
Hashem says to Abraham,
Hashem berkata kepada Abraham,
go conquer the way before your children,
pergi dan taklukkanlah sebelum anak-anakmu.
and you find that everything that happens to Abraham
Dan kamu akan melihat bahwa semua
will
yang
happen
terjadi
to the
pada
children.
Abraham akan terjadi pada anak-anaknya.
So in one level it speaks about Abraham,
Jadi di satu level dia bicara tentang Abraham,
on a Midrashian level he's talking about Israel.
dalam level Midras dia bicara tentang Israel.
Similarly, Exodus 4:22 in one level speak about the Messiah,
Sama juga dengan itu,
and another level he speak about Israel.
Keluaran di satu level bicara tentang Mesias, satu level lagi bicara tentang
Because
Israel.
everything is prophetic.
Karena semuanya profetik.
Are you following this? This is absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, it's continue in I found this in Genesis Rabbah,
Ini saya temukan dalam Genesis Rabbah
and I got to read you a few lines for this.
dan saya bacakan beberapa kalimat.
It is written,
Ada tertulis,
and Pharaoh gave man charge concerning him.
dan Firaun
Let me get to, hold on, let me get to the part that I want to read. Okay. While in connection with Israel,
di dalam hubungan dengan Israel
it is written,
ada tertulis,
for these 2 years had the famine been in the land.
selama 2 tahun ini kelaparan terjadi di tanah ini.
And then it says, Abraham.
Lalu
Abraham.
ditulis
What
Abraham.
happened to Israel
Dan lalu akan terjadi pada Israel.
happened to Abraham.
Apa yang terjadi pada Israel terjadi pada Abraham.
And our father went down to Egypt,
Lalu bapak kita pergi ke Mesir.
Abraham to sojourn there.
I'm sorry.
Abraham to sojourn there. Abraham went down to
Abraham
Egypt. Abraham went to Egypt.
Abraham pergi ke Mesir.
The children of Israel went down to Egypt.
Anak-anak Israel juga
Please
pergi ke Mesir.
understand what is the Midrash goes on to explain to him whatever happened to Abraham happened to the Jewish people.
Jadi Midras ini menyatakan bahwa apapun yang terjadi pada Abraham
Similarly,
terjadi pada orang
everything that
Yahudi.
is happening to the Messiah is going to happen to the Jewish people.
Jadi apa yang terjadi pada Mesias juga terjadi pada orang
On
Yahudi.
the literal level, it's talking about Abraham,
Pada level literal dia
the
bicara
Pshat,
tentang Abraham di
but
level
on the
pesat,
Midrashic level,
tapi di level Midras
it is written about Israel.
itu bicara tentang Israel.
Both are true.
Dua-duanya benar.
Both are correct.
Dua-duanya benar ya.
And matter of fact, every Jewish Midrash ever given on Hosea 11:1
Dan semua midras Yahudi yang diberikan terhadap
connect Hosea
Yesaya
11:1 to, as we will see tomorrow,
connects what? I'm sorry.
connect Hosea 11:1
Connects menghubungkan Hosea 11 ayat 1
not to Israel,
bukan kepada Israel,
but to the Messiah.
tapi kepada Mesias.
Therefore, the point is invalid.
Karena itu poinnya
The
tidak benar.
reason that Matthew quoted it,
Alasan kenapa Matius mengutip itu,
the reason why they're quoting it in such way,
kenapa dia mengutip dengan cara seperti itu?
because he applied a midrash,
Karena dia menerapkan suatu midras
which is perfectly valid.
yang adalah benar-benar benar.
As we
Valid.
see from Jewish hermeneutics, it's done, it's continuing, they give, this entire passage gives about dozen accounts where the life of Israel as a nation and the life of Abraham parallel each other.
Jadi di sini ditulis tentang Israel dan tentang Abraham paralel satu sama lain.
Just like the life of the Mashiach
Sama seperti kehidupan Mesias
and Israel as a nation
dan kehidupan bangsa Israel
will have to parallel itself.
juga di level paralel yang sama.
Are you with me? But let's go to one of the greatest minds
Yes.
of Judaism.
I'm
This
sorry.
is not a Messianic Jew.
Ini bukan Yahudi Mesianik.
This is Rabbi Eli Soloveitchik.
Ini Rabbi
Eli Soloveitchik,
Eli Soloveitchik,
famous rabbi
seorang rabi terkenal
who was not a believer,
yang bukan orang percaya,
yet wrote a full commentary
tapi menulis uraian komentari
to support
untuk mendukung
the notion
ide
the entire New Testament
seluruh perjanjian baru
is a Jewish manuscript.
adalah suatu tulisan Yahudi.
This is one of our greatest and sharpest minds.
Ini orang paling salah satu orang paling pandai di dalam
A Orthodox Jew.
Yahudi Ortodoks.
And here's what he says. He says, based on Hosea 11:1, when Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I call out my son.
Berdasarkan Hosea 11:1, ketika Israel masih anak-anak, aku mengasihi dia, dan dari Mesir aku memanggil anakku.
The simple meaning, the pshat,
Arti sederhananya yaitu pesatnya
refer it to Israel,
merujuk pada Israel,
which mean
yang artinya
when Israel, the people of Israel was as a child in Egypt,
ketika orang Israel seperti anak-anak di Mesir,
they were empty from my commandments. They were empty, they were without Torah.
mereka tidak punya Torah.
Okay? I called my son as it is written.
Aku memanggil anakku sama tertulis.
Israel, my son, my firstborn.
Israel anakku, anak sulungku.
This is why many ask the difficult question.
Inilah kenapa banyak orang menanyakan pertanyaan yang sulit.
Regarding the fact that Matthew bases more on this verse of Hosea 1.
Karena Matius mendasarkan kata-katanya pada ayat ini, Hosea 11.
As he taken it out of original context.
Dan dia menulisnya seakan-akan seperti keluar dari konteks aslinya.
Look what I wrote on verse 23. He says,
tapi lihat apa yang saya tulis mengenai ayat 23.
and you will have peace of mind.
Dan Anda akan tenang.
That the book of Matthew did not make a mistake.
Bahwa buku Matius tidak salah.
And as a reminder, if you remember in the Matthew 2:23, it says there, just as a reminder, it says, he shall be called a Nazarene. And I told you, this verse does not exist in the Hebrew Bible.
Jadi di kata-kata dia akan disebut orang Nazaret itu
So-
tidak ada di dalam kitab bahasa Ibrani.
So what is the solution? What is the upshot?
Jadi bagaimana?
And he says this, now, by the way, this is the very first time that I'm aware of that this ever been translated into English.
Jadi Midras ini, inilah pertama kalinya dia diterjemahkan bahasa
Our
Inggris.
chief translator in our ministry took the liberty of translating it for you to bless you
Penerjemah kami di pelayanan kami menerjemahkan ini
from the Hebrew language.
dari bahasa Ibrani.
Now, dear readers,
Sekarang pembaca,
I will interpret for you the Talmud way of commentary.
saya akan menafsirkan komentari
And here is a
Talmud.
shocking statement by Rabbi Eli Soloveitchik. He said that the writers of the New Testament, to prove that the writer of the two New Testaments were not just knowledgeable in Torah, they were Talmud scholars.
Bahwa penulis kitab perjanjian baru bukan saja tahu Torah, tapi adalah ahli Talmud.
You
Cendekiawan Talmud.
understand what they're saying? He's saying, I'm going to prove to you
Dia,
not only that Matthew knew the Torah, not only that he didn't misinterpret the Torah, that he was a scholar of the top notch.
ya, jadi yang dikatakannya adalah bukan saja Matius itu tahu Torah, tapi dia adalah orang yang pandai, ya cendekiawan.
I hope it
Tentang
will give you
Torah.
great confidence in Matthew and the New Testament as it's given me.
Jadi saya harap ini membuat Anda percaya diri tentang Matius.
Please explain to him, this is not just anybody. This is a giant in Judaism saying this.
Jadi ini bukan dikatakan oleh sembarangan orang, tapi ini orang penting, orang besar di dalam Judaisme.
When Moses, our teacher, received the Torah from the mouth of the Mighty One,
Ketika Musa guru kita menerima Torah dari mulut yang maha kuasa,
he received every mitzvah
dia menerima setiap mitzvah
and a commentary.
dan artinya, penjelasannya.
Hold on. Oops, apologize. In commentary, mitzvah is called the written Torah,
Mitzvah disebut Torah tertulis
and its commentary is called the oral Torah.
dan penjelasannya disebut Torah lisan.
Moses was not allowed to say the mitzvah orally.
Musa tidak diizinkan untuk mengatakan mitzvah secara lisan,
The same way that he wasn't allowed to write down the commentary. The same way that he was not allowed to.
sama seperti dia
Moses
tidak.
was not allowed to write down the commentary.
Moses tidak diizinkan untuk menuliskan penjelasannya,
As it tells us in the Talmud.
seperti dijelaskan di dalam Talmud.
The words which written down are not at liberty to say by heart.
Kata-kata yang dituliskan tidak bisa dengan sembarangan diucapkan begitu.
And the word transmitted orally are not at liberty to recite from writing.
Dan kata-kata yang disampaikan secara lisan tidak boleh secara sembarangan ditulis.
This is very important because the oral Torah had to be written here on your heart.
Ini penting karena Torah lisan harus ada di hati.
Okay, but here you go. Look at this. The oral Torah, the
Torah
oral
lisan
is the Talmud.
adalah Talmud.
It's called this way because it contains commentaries on the commandments.
Ini disebut begitu karena mengandung
And they
penjelasan dari
And they
mitzvot
passed from father to son,
dan diturunkan dari bapa ke anak,
starting with Moses.
dimulai dari Musa.
The Talmud also contains things from the Torah. Here we go.
Talmud juga mengandung hal-hal dari Torah
which original meaning was lost.
yang arti aslinya sudah hilang.
So the Talmud contains things that the original things were lost.
Jadi
The original meanings were lost.
Jadi Talmud kehilangan. Talmud mengandung arti yang.
And here's the problem with the oral law. Each one of the Talmud scholars, look what it says. Each one of the Talmud scholars
Setiap ahli Talmud
interpret the mitzvah meaning according to his own opinion,
menafsirkan mitzvah sesuai dengan pendapatnya,
reinforced by the written Torah.
lalu memperkuatnya dengan Torah tertulis.
The Talmud also contains regulation and fences
Talmud juga mengandung peraturan dan batasan
made by the sages to safeguard Torah, to protect the Torah,
yang dibuat oleh para bijak untuk menjaga Torah
which all based on written Torah. Okay?
yang didasarkan pada Torah tertulis.
Because the Torah was written very precisely. The written Torah is very precise.
Karena Torah ditulis dengan sangat teliti.
Okay? So here you go. We're getting there. There are also many midrashim. You remember the Pardes? Right? The drash. It's the third layer.
Yeah.
There are many midrashim
Ada berbagai macam midras,
that were
ada berbagai macam tafsir
that were publicly stated.
yang diucapkan secara publik.
Word of reprobation to bring back the people to God.
Kata-kata teguran untuk memanggil orang kepada Tuhan, memanggil kembali orang pada Tuhan,
and to worship the one true God, right?
dan menyembah Tuhan yang benar.
And also to plant good manners in people's hearts.
Dan juga untuk menanamkan sikap yang baik di dalam hati orang.
The Midrash is based on the written Torah.
Tafsir Midrash didasarkan pada Torah tertulis.
But look at this. Although
Meskipun
many times
ada banyak kali
the simple meaning of the text of the written word
arti sederhana dari Torah kata tertulis itu
doesn't necessarily agree with the Midrash.
tidak selalu sepaham dengan midrasnya, tafsirnya.
The rabbis admitted themselves. The rabbis admitted themselves.
Rabinya ini juga mengakuinya begitu,
By the-
mengakui sendiri.
By the time I was 18 years old,
Ketika saya berumur 18 tahun,
I have studied the whole Talmud.
saya sudah belajar seluruh Talmud,
Yet I didn't know that a verse cannot depart from its plain meaning
tapi saya tidak sadar bahwa sebuah ayat tidak boleh lepas dari arti
until today.
sederhananya
Until today. Until
sampai
that
hari
day.
ini.
Because
Ya,
it's all over the place.
ya, karena
Okay, it's all over the place.
ya oke, ya, karena udah semuanya udah banyak sekali terjadi lepas dari arti aslinya.
It is important to understand why the sages chose to depart from the plain meaning of the word and create a midrash. Why did they create a midrash? It's important to understand why they did that.
Sangat penting untuk mengerti kenapa tafsir midrash itu dibuat.
The reason is simple.
Alasannya sederhana.
Since all their teaching were done from orally,
Setelah pengajarannya selesai secara lisan,
in order to not to forget it, the story,
supaya tidak
the
melupakan,
midrash,
supaya tidak melupakan ajaran itu
which is based on the written Torah,
yang didasarkan pada Torah tertulis,
despite knowing that the meaning of the written Torah does not agree with the midrash.
meskipun arti midrash itu tidak.
So there are many midrashim
Jadi begitu banyak penafsir
That-
atau penafsiran
that disagree completely with Torah.
yang sama sekali jauh artinya dari
But they
Torah.
did it so the written Torah will not be forgotten.
Tapi mereka melakukan itu
Through,
supaya
through stories,
Torah tidak dilupakan.
which they aren't allowed to say by heart. You know, which they aren't allowed. They would remember the midrash. If you say to a child a story,
Kalau kita bercerita kepada seorang anak,
he'll remember the story.
kita akan ingat cerita itu.
And that's why a midrash is given to begin with.
Karena itulah midrash dibuat.
Okay? The proof to all that is the fact that the Talmud contains many midrashim and many stories.
Bukti bahwa the proof to all that is
The Talmud contains many midrashim, many
Talmud
sermons.
mengandung berbagai macam tafsir.
But when they saw that the word doesn't agree with the midrash,
Tapi ketika mereka melihat bahwa
In-
firman tertulis tidak sejalan dengan midrash,
so they changed things around, okay?
mereka mengubah sedikit-sedikit.
Yeah, I'm helping you. Says this, who is gullible to believe that their intention was, who is gullible, who is foolish to believe that their intention was to change the word and validate their own? It's not true. They didn't do it in a bad spirit. They didn't do it to change things.
Mereka mengubah sedikit-sedikit itu, tapi bukan untuk mengubah Torah tertulis.
So sometimes we think, oh, the oral Torah is bad.
Jadi apakah Torah
They
lisan itu
changed
jelek?
it. No, they did it because they love the written Torah.
Mereka melakukan tidak jelek karena mereka mencintai Torah yang tertulis. Karena
Okay,
itu mereka
please-
membuat yang lisan.
Please understand this.
Jadi-
Who would have heard and accept their commentaries if they come to change the written Torah?
Siapa yang akan mau dengar uraian-uraian itu kalau Torah tertulisnya diubah?
A white person understand that their intention were good. They had good intentions.
Jadi niatnya sebetulnya adalah baik.
Are you with me?
Are you?
So here you go. Last slide. You're there. We're coming to the punchline.
Ya, ini akan menuju akhir sedikit lagi.
So now, my friend,
Jadi sekarang
you see, I could
temanku,
have given you the answer, but where's the fun?
Saya bisanya langsung kasih jawabannya tapi jadi
We have to understand all of that because sometimes we're negative toward the oral Torah.
Kita harus mempunyai sikap yang benar karena biasanya sikapnya negatif terhadap Torah lisan.
Don't be, because he
Jangan
says,
begitu karena
now my friend, you could see the question regarding the New Testament was answered.
sekarang kamu bisa melihat bahwa pertanyaanmu tentang perjanjian baru sudah terjawab.
Regarding the verse that say, he shall be called Nazarene,
Mengenai ayat bahwa dia akan disebut orang Nazaret,
there is no such a specific verse in the prophets.
tidak ada kata yang persis seperti itu dalam
But
kitab
there
nabi-nabi.
you go. Matthew used the same method
Tapi Matius
that the
menggunakan
Talmud used.
metode yang sama yang digunakan oleh
As he is applying
para
a
penulis Talmud.
midrash to Jeremiah 31:5. He's applying a sermon to Jeremiah 31:5.
Dia membuat midras dari merujuk ke Yeremia 3
So,
sampai 5.
in essence,
Jadi pada dasarnya
if one want to blame Matthew,
kalau mau menyalahkan Matius,
then you have to throw out all the oral Torah with Matthew.
jadi semua Torah lisan harus dibuang juga.
Because Matthew didn't do anything that is not already done before it in the oral Torah.
Karena Matius tidak melakukan sesuatu yang belum pernah dilakukan sebelumnya.
And on the contrary,
Dan justru sebaliknya,
it show Matthew devotion
ini menunjukkan
and love to the Torah.
kecintaan Matius terhadap Torah.
Are you with me? Oh, praise the Lord. How many of you understand all of these things? So there were two major objections here. No, we got a little bit off track, but this was very important.
Jadi ada dua keberatan di sini.
When we look at a passage that appears like it's out of things from Torah,
Ketika kita melihat suatu ayat yang kelihatannya tidak ada di dalam Torah,
it's really not.
itu sebenarnya bukan begitu.
On Matthew 2:15,
Di Matius 2:15,
Matthew apply a midrash.
Matius mengaplikasikan sebuah midras, sebuah
Okay,
tafsir.
similar to many midrashim.
Sama seperti tafsir-tafsir yang lainnya.
On Matthew 22 and 23,
Di Matius 22 dan
on those
23,
verses specifically, Matthew himself uses the same methodology that is used by the Talmud.
Matius menggunakan metode yang sama dengan di
He is
Talmud.
sharing a story, it is a story,
Dia menceritakan suatu cerita,
and that's a proper hermeneutical system that is used hundreds, if not thousands times in the Talmud.
dan
It's a proper hermeneutical method that is used hundreds or thousands of times in the Talmud.
itu metode hermeneutik yang pas. Metode tafsir yang dipakai ratusan kali di dalam Talmud.
Are you with me? You got quiet. Praise the
Quiet
Lord.
is not good.
You're doing good. Are you with me? Matthew did not commit such an offense.
Matius tidak melakukan kesalahan.
On the contrary, he was a Talmudic scholar.
Justru sebaliknya, dia tuh belajar Talmud.